Welcome back to the Malaysia Money Matters Show. It's the 18th of September 25.
Good to be back.
Today we're doing a deep dive into the headlines hitting Malaysia company news, national stuff, and those big international stories that always seem to affect us here.
Absolutely. Lots of moving parts, from global trade pressures to, well, really exciting local tech developments.
Okay, let's jump right in with Malaysian companies. First up, a Federation of Malaysian Manufacturing survey. It's not great news.
No, it seems quite challenging. What's the headline figure?
3 out of 4 manufacturers are saying U.S. tariffs have already hurt their export sales. And about a third, well, they're seeing drops between 10% and 30%.
Wow, okay. That's substantial. And that lines up with the FMM's own forecast, right? Lower growth ahead.
Exactly. They're projecting growth slowing down to maybe 3.5%, 3.6% in the second half of this year.
So the impact is pretty clear. Exporters are feeling the squeeze on margins. U.S. buyers are probably pushing hard on prices.
You'd think so. Plus, they've got higher costs at home, too, right? Things like subsidy rationalization and the expanded SST.
Yeah, it's a double whammy, really. External pressure and rising domestic costs. Tough environment.
All right, shifting gears a bit. On the development front, Selangor's government has earmarked land for a third port on Carey Island.
Ah, yes, the Carey Island project. About 1,700 hectares, I think.
Roughly, yeah. 1,699 hectares. They're saying details should be firmed up within a month. Then it goes to the Ministry of Transport.
This is a big one for Selangor's future. We're talking, what, 20, 30 years of potential growth?
That's the vision. A major catalyst, sustainable revenue for the state. Could be transformative.
Definitely one to watch. Could really reshape the state's economic landscape.
Now here's an interesting mix. AI and Islamic tradition. Zetrix AI, they developed new AI.
The Shariah-Compliant AI model.
That's the one. They've partnered with Jakim, the Department of Islamic Development, Malaysia.
Okay, so what's the goal there? Using AI for rulings.
Yeah, exactly. To help Jakim issue Islamic rulings, Halal certifications, even Sharia advice through an AI platform.
That's quite innovative. It's about boosting Jakim's capabilities using tech, making sure those standards stay, relevant and accessible digitally.
And accurate and trusted. It also plays into positioning Malaysia as a hub for the whole Islamic digital economy, I suppose.
Makes sense, leveraging a unique strength. Okay, what else is happening locally?
Well, Felda's chairman is making some waves, calling for the government to abolish approved permits, APs, and import permits for refined sugar.
Ah, the sugar issue. Why now?
He's arguing Malaysia actually has a surplus of locally made sugar, but imports are coming in much cheaper.
So dumping concerns.
He explicitly used the word dumping, says it's critical to protect local players, like MSM Malaysia Holdings.
Right. If cheap imports fled the market, it could really hurt local refineries, jobs, the whole industry long term.
It's a classic protectionism versus free market argument, isn't it? But focused on alleged unfair practices.
Yeah.
Definitely a tricky balance for the government to strike there.
Okay, let's move to some general and political news within Malaysia. The National Integrated Immigration System, or NIC.
Right, the new immigration system. They're starting trials.
Yes. A trial run kicks off September 22nd in Johor at the KSIB and BSI complexes. Runs until late February next year.
And KLIA is next, I assume.
Yeah. Phase rollout planned for KLIA Terminals 1 and 2 and other airports later. They're pushing the My and Eyes app, too.
So the idea is smoother, faster, automated security checks for everyone coming in and out, replacing the current QR code system.
That's the plan. A key government reform, they say, for more efficient immigration.
Modernizing border control. Makes sense. And speaking of future tech, flying vehicles.
Yeah. Transport Minister Anthony Loke mentioned Malaysia is working on regulations for what they call advanced air mobility, AAM.
So drones, air taxis, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Next-gen flying vehicles. They're aiming to release a concept of operations, a CONOPS, in early 2026.
A CONOPS. So basically the rule book for how these things will operate safely, pretty much. How they'll fit into the airspace, the safety protocols. It's about balancing innovation with safety in this low-altitude economy.
Interesting. Thinking ahead to support things like drone deliveries, smart farming, maybe even flying taxis in smart cities eventually.
It seems like it. Building that regulatory groundwork now.
Okay, let's look outside Malaysia. International news always has an impact. China first. AI seems to be booming there. Tech stocks are up.
Yeah. Saying tech index hitting highs. Baidu, Alibaba shares jumping on AI optimism. But there's a catch.
The NVIDIA chip situation.
Right. Reports say China's internet regulator is telling big tech firms not to buy NVIDIA's AI chips anymore. even the RTX Pro 6000D.
So it's this weird split, isn't it? Huge domestic AI push, market excitement, but geopolitical tensions hitting the supply chain hard.
Definitely. Chinese companies have to innovate internally, kind of forced to, while facing these external blocks. Big implications for the global tech race.
And staying in China, there's also this intense food delivery price war happening.
Oh, yeah. Good for consumers, I guess.
Very good for consumers. Ultra cheap meals, cheap coffee. But it's really hurting traditional restaurants. Empty tables, lower profits.
So the dine-in places are suffering, like Halal.
Exactly. Chains like Halal, they're seeing same-store sales drop. Delivery costs are up, and it's cannibalizing their main business. Shows the harsh side of digital competition.
Interesting dynamic. Okay, let's shift to the U.S., the Federal Reserve. What are markets thinking now?
Well, bond traders are betting more heavily on rate cuts, specifically that the Fed might deliver at least 1 half-point cut by the end of the year.
A half point, that's pretty significant. Though maybe a quarter point is still seen as more likely soon.
A quarter point is the base case for the next meeting, yeah. But the bigger bets reflect worries about the U.S. economy cooling job market, maybe a souring outlook.
And Fed moves always ripple outwards, don't they? Affects global markets, borrowing costs, everything. Malaysia feels that too.
Absolutely. Directly impacts capital flows, currency, investment decisions here.
Okay, one last international item, Singapore. They're cracking down on scam mules.
Yes, new measures starting in October. They're calling it a facility restriction framework.
Sounds serious. What does it restrict?
Access to key banking and telecom services for anyone linked to scam activities, basically making it much harder for scammers to move money or contact victims. A necessary step, you'd think. Trying to disrupt the whole scam ecosystem. Important for regional financial security, too.
Right. Okay, that's a lot we've covered. From local manufacturing pressures and big infrastructure plans to AI ethics, future transport, and these global shifts.
It really shows how interconnected everything is. Local strategies have to account for global realities, and tech is changing everything.
So, the final thought for you listening. Just reflect on how fast things are moving. AI, advanced air mobility, these global economic tug-of-wars. They aren't just news items. They're actively reshaping how countries work and how businesses have to think.
Constantly adapting.
Indeed. Don't miss out on understanding these crucial shifts. Subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters podcast to stay informed on the stories really shaping our world every single day. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you would like a deeper dive into all the investment opportunities from today's news, subscribe to my newsletter at moneymatters.substack.com. I will be sharing a deeper analysis of the key investment opportunities from today's news, including what makes these opportunities stand out and how they fit into the broader market trends. By subscribing to the Malaysia Money Matters newsletter, you will also get exclusive insights on my watch list and portfolio and fundamental reports on Malaysian listed companies.